So just to have a general idea of the site. Actually, the landscape is very similar to where we are working now.
Yeah.
So this is the site of Gerometta. It's also a late Neolithic Sopot culture site, as the one that we were working yesterday. It's very similar with circular enclosures, so the same type of site, and you will see that also the sediments, the soils are very, very similar, almost identical. This is the trench, and when I came to the site, part of it, the top part, was already excavated. So when I came here, you could already see some yellowish and grayish sediments. Since this was the first time that I came to the site and to do this kind of geoarchaeological work, I took just a few samples. First of all, one of the reasons, here I didn't do like a systematic sampling. It was like just an assessment sampling to learn something about the sediments, to see what we can see in this kind of environment and this type of sites. Because earlier I was working only in cave sites, which are something completely different, with different processes and different sediments. And also Raina had some questions, and she wanted me to sample particular features, so I did it there. I have here 7 thin sections. Some of them were sampled from the profiles of the post holes that were already excavated. In the thin sections we can see the units that were visible, and that the ones that are still not excavated. One of the first questions that came up when you are thinking archaeologically in these kind of sites in this region, usually you have this yellowish, grayish, light gray sediments, some house floors, and you have pits that are like dark brown. And since this was a small trench, what came up here, you can't see it now because it was already excavated. It looked like some sort of archaeological feature, a pit, but when I saw the profile, it didn't look actually like a feature. Raina's questions was, what's that? So we thought it was a pit, but there's nothing archaeological inside. And actually then just to show you. So this is this work taken from the profile from the section of the trench. And as you can see already here, it looks very much not like an archaeological feature or like a fill, but like a soil. Yeah. So actually we had the other way around. So not some pit dug inside the archaeological features, but in this just corner of the trench we have what was the remaining of the buried soil, probably.
Good.
And also when we look at the thin sections, what may almost nothing archaeologically side, no ash, no very small, just very small particles of amorphous organic material, but no daub, no pottery, nothing that would suggest that it was man-made.
Yeah.
And actually looks like pedogenized less.
Okay.
So those are these four samples, which look very much the same.
Yeah.
And as we go deeper, you could come to that yellowish loess that is the substrate. Especially it will become clear when you look at those slides and compare them to the ones that were taken actually from archaeological layers, where you can see a lot of organic material, a lot of pieces of daub, fragments of pottery, charcoal, a lot of phytoliths. Do you know what phytoliths are?
Phytolith, da.
Okay. Because during the excavation, none of the macro botanical remains came out, but there's quite a lot of phytoliths inside.
Okay.
And some of them could be recognized as probably, possibly Tritican phytoliths. I'm not very good at phytoliths.
No,
I would
neither.
like to learn more about them. Because they can be of various shapes. Not all plants produce phytoliths, as you know, but the shapes are not always or mostly indicative of the species. So it's not very easy to recognize what species.
Yeah, I mean you sort of get grasses
Yes.
versus possibly cereal versus sedges, and that's often about as good as you can get.
But what can tell us something about the archaeology and human activities is whether they are just spread around, or as we have here also very nicely articulated, and like in some thin layers,
Yeah.
which is actually lijepo položena slama. And they are quite nice, so I will show you those.
Yeah, and often, you know, in Near Eastern contexts, in Turkey and so on, these tell sites, you get lots of phytoliths. Whereas, say they'd be like organic mats, like reed mats or straw mats. You don't see the straw, but you get the orientated phytoliths in a lens. Sometimes they're burnt and partially silicified or replaced by silica. And you see that, but not the rest of the organic.
Yeah.
And we've had floors like that in the fens of these sort of collapsed wooden structures, where you can actually see the woven. You get the up and down of the woven placemat-looking aspect, and usually you can say that they're straw, grass straw versus something else.
But as you said, pH value does affect the level of preservance of the sample.
Unless, of course, and then sometimes it's burning or something else that actually helps change the preservation context.
So this is her helping me,
All right.
taking some samples.
Oh, good.
That was my first excavation.
Yeah, we used the profiles of the small post holes that were already excavated to take the samples. Yes, and
good
to
idea.
see a bit of stratigraphy, because everybody was telling Rana that's all the same, it's all yellowish, grayish, you can just dug it out as one, but it came up that actually it's not, and that we can recognize some house features and a lot of those phytoliths and ash and organic material inside.
Isn't that the ash layer that was cleaning up?
It's all quite ashy.
Yeah, I know there was a ditch, let's say, and that I was cleaning out the ditch because there was a layer of ash.
That wasn't the ditch, no.
Okay,
maybe we can... So we sampled here those samples that actually came up not to be filling of pit but a natural soil. And we took some sample from this post hole where we have this yellowish sediment, and then beneath it a lot of grayish and organic matter, small layers. And some of the samples were taken from the other post holes.